Hi, it's Hope and welcome to the vlog. As you can tell by the title and the thumbnail, this is going to be my Waywardsonathon reading vlog. Now, this is a readathon that was created by Jem from Bookish Gems and Amy from BookTube with Amy. I will leave both of their channels linked down below. And basically, this is a supernatural themed readathon. It takes place from the 12th to the, when the fuck does this end? This takes place from the 12th to the 18th of September, so that is when this vlog will be like from. So there is this bingo board here that are the prompts, and I'm just quickly gonna go through a quick rundown of my TBR for it, but this could be subject to change, especially because I do not have one of the books now. I believe the ARCs go out tomorrow, and I should be on the ARC team because I signed up multiple places, and I've been an ARC reader for the previous two books, so I'm like fingers crossed, but I'll talk about that when we get there. So we'll just go through the prompts. So the first one is Sammy, a book that's inspired by mythology or in an academic setting. This one I kind of am stretching, but Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas. This takes place in a high school. Like the characters go to high school, so academic setting, high school. And then we have Dean, a book with a character who's been through hell. Stone Cold Touch by Jennifer L. Armentrout. This is the second book in the Dark Element series. The first book is White Hot Kiss, where we follow Layla, who is half demon, half gargoyle, and she's been raised by gargoyles. Gargoyles are also known as wardens, where they basically keep the world safe from demons. But when Layla meets a demon named Roth, things happen, things are revealed, and Stone Cold Touch is obviously the sequel. I count this as character who has been through hell because literally we have Roth, who is a demon from hell, also in the first book. Layla definitely went on an emotional journey through hell, and so I have a feeling that will carry on into book 2. And this also works for Cass, a book with a character not of Earth, because you have a character who is literally a demon from hell. So I'm counting that. For Charlie, a book with LGBTQ+ rep, I have The Sunbearer Trials by Aidan Thomas. I always take off the dust jacket, so this is what the dust jacket looks like. But this is a Mexican-inspired fantasy. This also would work for the for Sammy's prompt, which is a book that's inspired by mythology, but I wanted to read Punk 57 for that. But this essentially followed Teo, who every 10 years there is this like these trials, the Sunbearer trials, that basically 10 semidios or demigods are chosen to compete in these trials, and these trials are done to bring energy to the sun god Sol to keep the sun, like to keep the sun working and the evil away, kind of. And we're following Teo as he competes in these trials. This definitely features LGBTQ+ rep, as Teo is queer and trans, and you have queer and trans other like side characters, and it is by a LGBTQ+ author, so like it's queer, it fits. I'm currently 144 pages into this. I did start it because I just couldn't wait. As soon as it arrived, I was like, I need to start this, and I'm listening to the audiobook of this along with the physical book, so I should get this finished by the end of the week. For Ghostfacers, a book with a group of friends, this also works, as well as for Bobby, a book with found family or a father figure. I kind of count the one friend group I'm thinking of. I'm definitely like, they give me like they're gonna be found family vibes, and also a father figure, I guess. For Teo, there's a character named Quaymac, who you definitely can tell kind of is a father figure, but not entirely. Plus the other other side characters have like parents, so like have fathers who are father figures to them, so it kind of works. For Rowena, A Book with Witches, I'm going to be reading Shattered Souls by Beck Michaels. This is the third book in the Guardians of the Maiden series, which is a upper YA fantasy. The first book is Divine Blood. I mentioned I probably will be getting an arc tomorrow, so I'll be diving into that as soon as I get it. For Crowley, A Book where the character is morally gray. Both, I think, Stone Cold Touch and Punk 57 will probably work, because I'd count Misha as kind of morally gray. And then in Stone Cold Touch, I'd kind of count Roth as morally gray. Sorry, it's morally ambiguous, but my brain thinks morally ambiguous, morally gray, same thing. So, yeah. And then Aline, A Book with Disability Rep. The Sunbearer Trials has a side character who is deaf, so some of the characters use sign language around them. So there you go, that's what I'm reading. I guess we'll have to actually see if I stick to this TBR. I have also been in a little bit of a reading slump, so I don't know if 4 books is feasible for a week, but we will try. But I will update you later as I read more, and yeah. Okay, so it's 2 o'clock on Tuesday. I had to think of the day of the week there for a second. Oh my gosh. And so last night, and so I forgot to mention that I was 23% into Stone Cold Touch. So between last night and today, I read up to 53%, and I'm really enjoying it still. One thing I love in this book is that, so we have one of the characters that drives a Chevy Impala, which obviously if you watch Supernatural, you know that that's the car, the iconic car. And then there's also a little Supernatural reference, which is, well, it's a reference slash fun fact. It's more of like one of the side characters is like, oh, do you know why they chose a Chevy Impala for Supernatural? And the fun fact is, and it's because a body can fit in the trunk, which like makes so much sense. That I found that hilarious, and I was like, oh, I picked the perfect book because there's a Supernatural reference, and and I'm reading it for a Supernatural readathon. And also, I learned that Stone Cold Touch also has witches in it. I did not expect that. Kind of makes sense though, so I might count Stone Cold Touch to the witch prompt if I don't get that arc, which I don't know because I forgot what date it is that it comes out. So I'm like, I thought it was today, but it could be, I think it's sometime this week. But I'm really enjoying Stone Cold Touch. I didn't get to read any of Punk 57 or the Sunbearer Trials last night because I ended up hanging out with like some of my friends, so that means I couldn't read. But yeah, I figured just to update a little bit on my progress, and I'm honestly really hoping to get Stone Cold Touch done tonight because I'm loving it so much, and honestly I might try to finish this book tonight, and then if by the time I need to start a new book I don't have that arc, I might continue the series because my library has the next book in the series, which is Every Last Breath, which is the final book in the series, and then there's like a prequel novella that my library also has, and then I'm just done with that series, and I'm kind of like, I need to finish the series. I'm really enjoying it, so I might do that. It just depends on everything. So it's 8:19 right now, and I made it to page 202 of the Sunbearer Trials, or I've just hit 50% because there is, well, of the main story, 401. So I've hit that 50% mark, and I'm really, really, really enjoying this. I love the characters, and I love the world that we are in. I love how detailed a lot of the things are, and again, overall, I said I like the characters, but I love everything about these characters, even the characters that you're meant to not like. I'm like, oh, I like them, and so that shows that the writing is good. If there are characters that you're meant to not really like you're meant to view them like the main character Teo does, of being kind of like he's distant from them, or they are kind of his enemies. You are able to clearly tell that from the writing, not just being told, but in the interactions. And overall, I really like this. One thing that I love about this is, so obviously there's the trials, which are a huge part of it. But I love how after the trials ends, you see the rankings of the characters. So like each symbol represents a character, so you can see, you see that along the side as it happens. And I don't know, I love that little detail in the formatting of just like that little detail. You can just see it, you're like, oh, like the characters moved around this without because you're only told a certain characters positions, you can look and go, oh, that's that character in that spot. And so I love that aspect. And overall, I'm enjoying this. I honestly think this might be a 5-star because, well, love the characters, love the world. I'm enjoying it so much. So yeah, that's just a little update on this. But I'm going to be reading more of Stone Cold Touch. I've already kind of said some of my thoughts on that, so let's see if I can finish it, or at least how far I can get into it before I go to bed. So it's now Wednesday at 4:45. Yes, I'm wearing the same shirt that I was wearing yesterday. Don't judge. But last night I finished Stone Cold Touch. I'm giving it 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. And I think I might just jump into the next book, because I'm like, oh, there was a plot twist literally right at the end. I'm talking last paragraph, that I'm like, oh, okay. So now I'm like, I need to know how that happened and how it turns out. So I think I'll just finish it, because first of all, finishing a series, well, I need to go back and read the prequel, but that's literally 100 pages and will take me one day. Also, as you saw, I started my Supernatural rewatch. I decided, over the last little bit, I've been debating, do I want to start a rewatch, because I just started a rewatch of 2 other shows that are quite long. Well, and so I was like, do I? But then I was like, screw it. I want to, plus the Supernatural, there's a couple other Supernatural references in Stone Cold Touch that just made me be like, I want to watch Supernatural. So I watched the first 2 episodes, and I'll probably watch a couple more episodes throughout this week. I kind of forgot how much I love the show, and now I'm rewatching it. I'm like, yes. And so that's kind of all I've done. I will be reading more of the Sunbearer Trials here in a little bit. And speaking of the Sunbearer Trials, I ended up getting, there was the pre-order campaign where if you pre-ordered the book and submitted, you get these little character cards, and those showed up. So I'm like, they're gorgeous, so I'm like, I have to share them. So let me put the book back there. But tell me these aren't gorgeous. So these are just 5 of the 10 characters that compete in the Sunbearer Trials. It's with the pre-order, it was oh, for every book you pre-order, you get 5, and it's totally random. And I'm so glad, out of all of them, my favorite is Nia, because so far she's one of my favorite characters. And definitely is my favorite character out of the bunch. So I'm now gonna have to put these in my little character art thing that I have, my album. That's the word, album. My character art album that I have. So yeah, but I will let you know. I will update you later when I read more of the Sunbearer Trials. I honestly probably won't get to Punk 57 this week. I'm kind of realizing that. But it's okay because the book that I was going to use for that prompt, the Sunbearer Trials works, so it will still be covered, so that's good. Okay, so it's now Friday, and I don't think I've updated since Wednesday, but even then I can't remember what. I think it was both, like, in the afternoon. So since then, on Wednesday night, I read up to page 246 of the Sunbearer Trials. I do think I can get this finished because I have that much left, but not entirely sure. And then I read up to 47% of Every Last Breath by Jennifer L. Armentrout, and I'm enjoying it. So far I do think that out of all the books, the second is my favorite, but I still have like half the book left to see if that stays. I apologize for not vlogging. I just kind of haven't been in the best mood, so vlogging has like become a back burner thing of like, if I don't feel like picking up the camera, I'm not going to. But yeah, I'll hopefully read more of the Sunbearer Trials and update you later. I don't really have any other thoughts on the books that I've read so far, except I'm enjoying them. But yeah, hopefully I'll update later. Okay, so it's Saturday at 11:15. Again, I am just awful at vlogging. Also, do you want to guess how much I've read since the last clip? If you guessed absolutely nothing, you are correct. I don't have a reason. Last night I hung out on StreamYard with my friends. Today I was busy and then hung out with my friends on StreamYard, and now I am going to be reading more of Every Last Breath tonight, but I'm only like 50% in, so I highly don't want to finish it tonight because I'm tired. But yeah, I have one more day. I have 3 hours and 35 minutes left of the Sunbearer Trials, which is like on 2 times speed, because I listened to it on 2 times speed. So that I feel like should be done. I honestly might do like my sprints tomorrow and just be like, I'm gonna sprint until I finish this book. Depends on how I feel in the morning. I haven't even actually decided if I'm doing sprints, but if I do sprints, I'll do it that way. But yeah, I'm gonna try to make at least a good chunk into Every Last Breath. To be honest, I don't need to finish that book to complete my TBR. Really, the only other book I need to read in the grand scheme of things is the Sunbearer Trials to finish, and then that would give me a blackout, I think. Am I not remembering what I said earlier this week? Yes. But yeah, I'll update you sometime tomorrow. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock on Sunday, and last night I made it to 58% of Every Last Breath, and today I finished the Sunbearer Trials. I gave this 5 stars. Well, I'm going to be giving it 5 stars. I need to actually update Goodreads, but 5 stars, absolutely love it. All I want to say is spoilers, but I loved everything about it. That ending, like, the ending, I'm like, okay, I expected something like the ending to happen, but not in the way it happened. Like, if you would have told me the ending, I would have been like, I would have just been like, there's no way. What do you mean? But yeah, I'm just gonna shut up because I will start screaming. But I literally, I think it was the end of chapter 24, just end of chapter 24, beginning of chapter 25, was me just sitting there like literally just like so shocked, and then like just being, and then proceeding to actually, once it's sunk in, just like being like, oh my god. I need book 2 like now, and this just came out like 2 weeks ago, so this is gonna be an interesting, like, the next year and a half until the next book comes out. yeah, but absolutely love this. 5 stars. So let's quickly just go over a little wrap up of my Waywardsonathon, like what I read for what. Here is what the pop-up is, but so this covered Sammy, a book inspired by mythology, Charlie, a book with LGBTQ plus rap, Ghostfacers, a book with a group of friends, Bobby, a book with found family or a father figure, and Aline, a book with disability rap. And then Stone Cold Touch was for Dean, a book with a character who's been through hell, Cass, a book with a character not of Earth, and Rowena, a book with witches. So technically I only read 2 books this week, and then I started a 3rd, which honestly, I'm like happy that I was able to block out the board with 2 books. And I'm kind of grateful that I was able to finish the readathon with 2 books, because I've been slumping. Like, this is the 5th book I finished this month, and we're on the 18th, so getting 2 books read in a week, I'm okay with. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this reading vlog. It definitely didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, but sometimes slumps happen, and like filming slumps, reading slumps, all the slumps. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this vlog, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye!